Nice to meet you, sir. I'm from Group M and I'm one of the members from Group 10 for this assignment. I will explain about the introduction part for this assignment. We are doing a research on the concept of consumer demand and concept of consumer behavior in this assignment. We conduct a survey to collect data from consumers in the market which correspond. There are three parts in the survey, which is part A, B, and C. Part A is about the demographic of the respondent, which is age, ethnicity, and their gender, while part B and C is about the consumer's behavior, which is affected by their buying decisions and their preference. For part B and C, we use a scale from 1 to 5, which is strongly disagree, disagree, moderate, agree, and strongly agree. Consumer is best defined as the person who buy the goods and services offered in the marketplace based on their needs and wants. The concept of consumer demand tells us about the willingness and the ability of a consumer to demand a product or services produced in the market based on their income and their buying power. When the desire of a consumer can be supported by high purchasing power, an effective demand turns because their income can pay for the product and services needs by them. While the concept of the consumer behavior is a process that influenced by psychological, personal, and social that every customer will verify before a purchase decisions made by them to purchase goods or services offered in the marketplace. Utility concept is a measurement that give benefits to a consumer when a consumer feels happy and satisfied after consuming a good or services supplied in the marketplace. So from this study, we can know all the consumers' demands and their behavior while purchasing a good or services offered in the market.
Greetings to Professor Madya Dr. Lim Hock Im, our lecturer for this subject. My name is Mohamad Norisham bin Muhammad Shamsudddin. My metric number is 288142, and today I would like to present about respondents' background. Let's go. Alright, first and foremost, I'll go with our respondents' gender. 50% of our respondents are male and the other 50% are female, which is each of them representing 9 out of 18 of total respondents. This shows that we were not only focusing on only one gender, we will picking both, and also we pick equally 9 out of 18 for each of the gender. Next up is our respondent age. 50% of the respondents, which is 9 out of 18 respondents, are below 30 years old. Meanwhile, the other 28%, which is 5 out of 18 respondents, are between 41 and 50 years old. And the last 22%, which is 4 out of 18 respondents, are above 50 years old. This shows that we also not focusing on a certain generation. We also have younger, adult, and older to be our respondents for this task. Last but not least is our respondent ethnicity. 78%, which is majority of our respondents, are Malays. Meanwhile, the other 70% are Chinese, and the last 5% are others, which includes Indian, Kazakh, and also some of other races in Malaysia. Means that we also not focusing on certain type of race. We have multiracial because Malaysia is a multiracial country. Based on what I learned from this assignment is, in order to get a high quality service result, you should find people or respondent from the different group of people, which is different group of race, different group of gender, different group of age, to make sure that we have a multi types of respondent from the different background. This is to make your qualities of your service better. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm from Group 10. Today I will be presenting Part B, Question 1, 2 and 3. Question 1 is consumer prefer to purchase good or product depending on their brand. Based on the pie chart, there are 28% of the respondents agree with the consumer prefer to purchase good depending on their brand. This is because most of them prefer purchasing good from the brand that they are familiar with because consumers are looking for a certain level of trust while purchasing good. Meanwhile, 28% of the respondents disagree to purchase good depending on their brand because instead of using their brand recognition to determine which product is good, they use their own judgment and perspective. Moving to question 2, consumers are glad to buy branded goods despite the high price. Based on the pie chart, there are 39% of the respondents agree with the consumer gladly buying branded goods despite the high price. This is because it will help the consumer improve their image and become a valuable member of a target demographic. There are also 22% of the respondents disagree with the consumer are glad to buy branded goods despite the high price because of the restriction from their financial position. Moving to question 3, consumers increase their purchases when their income increase. From the pie chart, there are 28% of the respondents agree on increasing their purchases when their income increase. This is because majority of people have the desire that they want to fulfill, however they do not have the resources to fund their desire. An increase in their income will be an opportunity for them to buy the desired goods or services. Only 17% of the respondents disagree with increasing their purchases when their income increase. This is because they are well educated enough in managing their finances. Instead of increasing their purchases, they increase their saving and investment. From this assignment, I learned that brand recognition is important for the consumer to determine which product they will buy. That's it from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Syahidatul Asmira Binti Singkaban from Group 10, and today I would like to present for the Part B, Question 4, 5 and 6. Question 4 is, consumer increase their purchases when price of good is low. Based on the pie chart, there are 50% of the respondents agree on increasing their purchases when the price of good is low because they are able to save a lot of money and buy in larger quantity than usual. Only 5% of the respondents disagree with increasing their purchases when the price of good is low. This is because when the price of good is low, it gives an impression that the product are not in high quality or it is damaged. Question 5 is, consumer prefer to buy goods online rather than in person. Based on the pie chart, there are 22% of respondents agree that they prefer to buy goods online rather than in person. This is because the consumer is able to access all products from around the world as the internet becoming global. 28% of the respondents disagree that they prefer to buy goods online rather than in person. This is because by going to the store, they are able to touch, feel and see the product face to face before they buy the goods. Next, question 6 is, purchasing goods online is more convenient and cost effective. Based on the pie chart, 33% of the respondents agree that purchasing goods online is more convenient and cost effective. This is because they are able to browse easily on a website to buy goods without actually going out to the actual place. 6% of the respondents disagree that purchasing goods online is more convenient and cost effective. One of the theories that are related to diminishing utility is consumer with name theory. Consumer with this type of theory may see that the higher price of the good leads to the higher quality of it. This theory may lead to the disagree of the question because some consumer doesn't prefer the cheaper product. From this assignment, I learned that most of the consumer will increase their purchases when the price of good is low. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Hello everyone, my name is Alfira, Khairunnisa, Binti, Kamaluddin, Shamil, matrix number 2864955, group number 10. I will present part C, question number 4. Figure 13 shows if my income increased by 50%, I will purchase both good A and good B. Based on the above pie chart, two respondents correspond to 11.11% strongly agree that they will buy both good and B if their income grows by 50%. Good A is McDonald's fried chicken and good B is Kentucky fried chicken, KFC. There are four statement of part C is also about the assumptions of ceteris paribus. Majority of the respondents agree with that statement. They are willing to buy good A if their income rise by 50%. Majority of the respondents will buy goods at a higher price if they have more money or if their income increase. Some people said buying an expensive product will guarantee better taste. This proves that McDonald's fried chicken is more delicious than KFC fried chicken. If their income increased by 50%, ceteris paribus, the demand for good A will increase. Next is part C, question number 5. Figure 14 shows if my income increased by 50%, I will purchase both good and good B. A respondent 5.56% has voted strongly agree. 5 respondents 37.78% have noted agree. 7 respondents 38.89% have chosen moderate. 5 respondents 27.78% have voted disagree, and no respondent has voted strongly disagree. There are 4 types of consumer buying behavior, which are complex buying behavior, dishonest reduced buying behavior, habitual buying behavior, and variety seeking buyer behavior. The consumer behavior also encompasses the ways in which marketing campaign can be enhanced to influence consumer more effectively. The results of the survey are consistent with the theory of ceteris paribus assumptions. Economic theory and ceteris paribus assumptions can only be applied to rational consumer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul, Farina, Binti, Mohamad, Isnadi. My metric number is 287.14. I will continue with the conclusion. Based on the result of our findings, we can conclude that the respondent behavior may be consistent with the consumer theory and contradictory from the theory. We can say that the economic theory and the ceteris paribus assumption will only be applied to the rational consumer. Based on the result of our findings, we also found that there are several factors that influence the consumer behavior. Firstly is brand. Some of the respondents prefer to buy branded goods, and we found that usually the consumer that buy the branded goods is from the upper class. Second factor is income. When the income increases, the demand of the good will increase. This is because the purchasing power of the consumer will increase when their income increases. Third factor is price. When the price is decreased, then the demand of the good will increase. This is because the consumer will buy more goods when the price is less. Lastly is sales method. There are 2 different sales methods, which are online shopping and face-to-face. Some of the respondents prefer to buy online as they want to save time and energy, while some of the respondents prefer to walk into the shop to make sure that they will pay for the good that fulfill their satisfaction. But we must remember that these 4 factors is not the only factors that influence the consumer behavior. It has more factors that influence the consumer behavior, and it depends on the consumer itself. That's all for me. Thank you.